All right, and welcome. So, in theory, this is my third episode of the Visual Kei podcast, V-Kei the Pod, hosted by Gigi, brought to you by JK Collectives. This episode is going to be more about Masked. Masked 2026, that is a big 2-day festival, all set sorts of different kinds of visual kei artists. They've been putting really cool artwork online. I definitely recommend you all reaching out to them, looking at Instagram. This event will occur next weekend, and we're gonna see how far we get. So this is the part one because we're going to try to do all of the day one people, and then go from there. So I'm going to talk about each band, do a little brief synopsis, but that brief synopsis is going to be based off of the research that I am looking at. Hopefully, eventually, I will also do more deep dives of these specific bands. This is a great way for me to learn new artists, and we're going to go from there. So, for the first day of Mask, we're going to talk about Amai Boryoko. They debuted October 28th, 2016 under a label called Crimson. So they've been with Crimson for, I guess now we can say, 10 years. Okay, so Amai Boryoko. Looks like this is a 4-piece band. We have the first group that we are going to discuss, which is Amai Boryoko. Their vocalist is Saki, Saki. He was born March 14th. Then we have Aya. All of these members look like they have been in past bands before. Past bands with 3 of the members being in a previous band together. On that regard, anyway. So they have the vocalist Saki, guitarist Aya, and Yoshi is another guitarist, and then they have their drummer Kei. How cute! Their aesthetic right now is very adorable. Let's see. So that was just the basic information of just who the people are. But from vk.gy, this group, like I said, has been active since 2016. They are from the Tokyo area. They are part of the Menhera-kei and Osare-kei subgenres of visual kei. We will go into an episode of these different genres because, as we know, visual kei has so many subgenres included. But right now their aesthetics look really bubbly and adorable, from one of the pictures that I saw, but also dark in the same lens. So that is the first group that will be performing for Masked. Ensoku, when did they start off? Ooh, okay, they're a band with history. So they are a band that's been active since 2005. They are definitely in Osare-kei band subgenre, and also cosplay kei, which is interesting. But actually looking at their images, this high-key makes sense, because they are definitely theatrical in their costumes, but I do appreciate that this is a 2005's band, so I definitely want to hear more from them. It looks like some of the members definitely came from other places, but 2 of the members look like they were the initial start back in 2005. We have the vocalist, Bu. We have the guitar, Joe. We have another guitar. We have guitar, which is another guitarist, which is Kuraka Yusuke. Those Yusuke and Bu are both original members. Then we have the bass by Mido and drums by Sin. Okay, so that is a 5-piece band that also will be performing on the first day. Let's go to the next group, which is Orsies. And right now, I believe this is in no real order that I'm going in. This is not the breakdown of like who's performing first and all that stuff. One thing that I absolutely did forget about is that if you are interested in watching masks, because like most of us overseers, people from overseas, we cannot make our way there. They do have a streaming that you can buy. You can buy streaming along with, I guess, video on demand that's going to be available, I think, till June 6th. So that absolutely is an option if there's some of your favorite bands. I think there's more information, including like which bands are going to be on the live stream, because not everyone is going to be there. And that is okay. We understand. Okay. Let's move on to our next band. Our next band is Orsees. Okay. Vibrant, vampire-y, sort of demon-y themed from just looking at them. All right. We have kind of a newbie group, and by newbie, I mean their group is only about 6 years old. Okay. About Orsees, they formed in 2020, so right out the cut, they came in through COVID, so that's already, okay, so they've had some iterations. They had 2020 to 2023, and then they looked like they took some form of hiatus and then came back in 2023. Again, maybe a group that I will do another deep dive in if that is some interest, along with myself trying to listen to some things. They are a Tokyo-based band, and they are part of the art Kei subgenre. Ooh, art Kei. I have actually not heard of art Kei. So that's definitely one that I want to look into a little bit more in the future. I should probably somehow be taking notes on this, but yet here I am. Okay, so members. They're a 5-member group with your normal vocals, 2 guitarists, a bass, and a drummer. The vocals are Loom. He definitely has been in other things. Then we have Kuro, who also has been in plenty of other bands. We have Yanagi. All of these people have been in so many different bands. We have Go, who is the bassist, and then we have Sera, who is the drummer. Looking at what I believe is their current aesthetics, definitely going with a more theatrical style, and sort of kind of like that royalty vampire look. But definitely they've gone through a couple of iterations of style. Art Kei. Their definition is this is from 2008 and onward, who plays slower, intellectual rock that is not designed for audience participation. Their looks are desaturated, editorial, feminine, and naturalistic. Wow. Wow, that's kind of cool. So, we just discussed Orsees, which is a newer group from 2020 that took a break in 2023 and then came back in 2023. Let's move on to Onigashima. D Out, a band that I definitely have heard of but maybe have not listened to. Their vocalist, Koki, has created this side project. So they will be performing. The biggest thing that I just want to see, so it's his solo project. Got it. That's what it is coming down to. So I don't have a whole lot of information on that. They've released a solo out. They definitely have released a album themselves. As a solo, this is the persona. As a solo artist, Koki maintains a distinct stage presence that sets Onigashima apart from D Out and his other side projects, because apparently he has multiple. That's kind of cool. This project is heavily rooted in fashion, shock value, and aesthetic grandeur, a visual cave movement. Okay, cool. So this is a side project for Koki, so that he doesn't interfere with his original band, D Out. D Out is a day 2 artist, which hopefully we'll come back to. Okay, so next we have Kizu. Okay, so they're a mixture of a bunch of different genres, but before I get to that, they have been active since 2017. Um, the band is obviously still active as of now. They are part of Loud Kei, Minhera Kei, Mishitsuke, and Shironuri Kei as subgenres. So it sounds like they have quite a eclectic group of sounds. But honestly, from a group that's around since 2017, I wouldn't be surprised with their experimenting. Um, yeah, no, they definitely, just looking at the images of their aesthetic, they are a very vibrant looking group of people. Um, but definitely it looks like this music is really heavy. So I'm here for it. I am here for it. Who are their members? Um, there are four members of Kizu, the vocals, guitar, bass, and drums. So you have Lime, you have Riki, you have Yui, and you have Kyonosuke. It looks like for Kyonosuke, this is the only band that he has been with. And the rest have definitely had other iterations of groups they've been a part of. Then we got a fave of mine. We got a Kodomo Dragon. Definitely will do a deep dive on them. They're a group that I have listened to quite frequently. But let's get some brief facts about them. One thing I do know is I guess I'm a BP girly when it comes to records and such. Record labels. I like a lot of the bands that are under BP Records and even bands that have left them. So I'm here for it. Love their aesthetic. Always have. They also have really vibrant colors. Kira Kira Kei. I think at the end of the day, the genre I listen to the most is Oshare Kei and Kira Kira Kei. Those are my go-tos. Now, I'm a heavy girly. I do love some heavy metal, obviously. But I guess on a daily basis of what I listen to, it really is Kira Kira Kei. I mean, I started off my whole entire channel with Roy's. My boys, Roy's, who also are performing for Masked, but they don't perform until day 2. Okay, so we're dealing with a 4-piece band here. They are a Kira Kira Kei group, subgenre. They obviously are a visual Kei group, but the subgenres are Kira Kira Kei and Minhera Kei. They're 4-piece band. We got our vocals, guitar, bass, and drums. Vocals is Hayato. Guitar is Yume. Bass is Men. Men seems to be this is their only band. And drums is Chamu. Also, their only band is Kodomo Dragons. Okay, so they too are kind of lengthy in history. They started in 2010 and they have been active ever since. Like 10 out of 10, I recommend listening to all of these groups that are probably going to this. It sounds like this is going to be a really fun event, starting at the crack of 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then probably going in at least till 9 o'clock at night. There's a lot of bands. I don't even though obviously one thing you want to take into consideration about all of these bands that I'm talking about today as the day oneers is that there are 2 locations that this is happening at. So if you did buy tickets, you're going to buy the tickets to the place in the area of who you wanted to see. But still, I like this concept a lot, and I am curious about that live stream. With that, we talked about Kodomo Dragons. Let us move on to Zaza. Thankfully, this is another group that I got to see. They are cute. They are fun. I definitely have pictures of it. I'll show those pictures. You probably can find them on my Instagram, honestly. But I will also put the pictures when I actually decide to do a deep dive of Zaza. Zaza has been around a little bit. They started their group in 2014. Zaza's subgenres of visual Kei are art Kei, loud Kei, Minhera Kei, and Mishitsuke. They, like I said, have been around. I thankfully have had the chance to see them. So what we have here is also one thing to note is that the vocalist and the bassist are brothers. I love that concept. So the people we have and who we are dealing with is we have the vocals, which is Kazuki. We have the guitarist, which is Harume. We have the bassist, which is Rea. And we have the drummer, An. They are all sweethearts. I took pictures with all of them. And then their music is definitely fun. Definitely understand why they're under the loud K. And I'll definitely do a deep dive on them because I do enjoy them. So we're gonna move on to Sakai Mitsuki. All right, looks like what we're dealing with here is a vocalist and guitarist. This is a solo. He definitely has been in a. This is my boy. This now makes so much sense. Okay, I'm sorry. The freak out is because there is another BP group that I thoroughly adore, which is Kiryu. But they have been on hiatus, I believe, for a couple of years now. So this to me is actually making me really stoked. So he, Mitsuki Sakai, is the vocalist of Kiryu, which is great because I love his voice. His voice is fantastic. He will be obviously doing something for Masked. I remember when I was doing, I was in the middle of doing some research on Wafuke, and I was going to start off with the first band that we knew to fall under Wafuke, and then start going into a little bit of a deep dive about Kiryu, just because I think they blend the traditional Japanese musical instruments in the heavy metal and also just like sparkly vibes that I love from V-Kei really well. So I will at some point do that. I promise I will do it. um, but yeah, so he's gonna be doing they basically give him this status of semi-active, so I think he kind of just performs when he wants to. It looks like he hasn't performed in 2026, so this will be his first time performing in 2026, but he's basically been doing some solo activity since 2023 because I believe 2023 is when Kiryu went on hiatus. So but again, we're gonna do a deep dive with that group because I love it. I love the music. It really gives me like it's such a vibe. I love driving to it. All right, so we're gonna move on to our next group. So Zanvala is a group that has been around since 2019. They are definitely the loud K subgenre. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So please do keep that in mind. And just like when you think loud K, to put into perspective, to put into words, like really just loud, screaming, heavy rock music. But they are loud K. And one thing, going back again to this mask thing, because I'm jumping around a lot, is I do like the different genres that they're throwing in here. They are giving, I think, probably everyone a little bit of something of what they want. Even if it's a band that they've never heard of or not maybe aren't hyped as much about, they are giving each person who's probably going to attend this something to look forward to. Because this is a stacked lineup. Stacked. Okay. So, as I said, they're loud K. They are a 5-piece group. We have vocals Tatsumi, guitar Yuma. We have another guitar, which is Soma. We have bass, which I'm going to go with, their name is 70. They could also be Nanaju. They could also be 70. So I'm not entirely sure. When I do a deep dive on this group, because I will eventually do a deep dive on this group, I'll get that correct. And then we have the drums, Tomoya. Okay, so already just not even wrapping up, but just thinking about the people that we have. We have Lao K for sure. We have some Kira K in there. We have Wafu K in there. We definitely have just like a whole mixture of different groups that are being represented through this. Let's go to our next one, which is Zeta. Okay, yep, definitely giving gothic and also, yeah, gothic aesthetics. We love this. Ooh. Okay, yeah, that is what I thought Menherake is. Okay, so Menherake, also just to give like a warning of that before people just jump in to start listening to groups that have that as their top title under their subgenre. That is the one that is darker themed. So just keep that in mind and figure out where space you are in before you start listening, or at least looking at their lyrics if you must translate them. Um, Definitely, I would say for a mature audience. But they also, this group Zeta is also under uh Shidoke, and I was trying to figure out. Oh, okay. Um, Shidoke, which Shido means white, but refers to visual kei bands who stand in contrast to the darkness of the typical visual kei bands. They are light in spirit and delicate in sound, but not necessarily soft. One or more members are typically dressed in predominantly in white colored costumes, which is still recognizable today. And there's like a whole bunch of groups. V-Kei.gy, man. This website is like a great archival. 10 out of 10. Like I said, just spend some time on there if you're really into looking at them. Okay, so they've been active since 2019. They're from the Kansai area, i.e., sort of that Osaka area. They've had a lot of support members. Okay, they've had a lot of support drummers since the start of their thing. But we'll talk about the 4 main members because, yeah, they look like they're the 4 that promote. Just looking at their images, I kind of low key like their take on the Shidoke. But anyways, we have the vocals, which is Hisui. We have guitar, which is Minagi. And then we have another guitarist, which is Karan. And we have the bassist, Ryu. And then they've, like I said, had at least about 6 different support. 4 different support drummers. Next up is Kumori Nochi. Oh, these are newbies. Okay, this is a newbie group, so it seems like right now they're definitely figuring out what their style is. They started in 2025. So that's really cool. I'm hoping they have some stuff that's on, because I use Apple Music, so I'm hoping they have some stuff on Apple Music. All of these members look like they have been in all kinds of different groups. So let's talk about them. We have the vocals, which is Asahina Yo. Then we have the guitarist, Roku. We have another guitarist, Hyo. We have the bass, Taki. And then we have Mikage, the drummer. Yeah, that's really cool. They are definitely a new group that has debuted. I don't know if debuted is the right word, but they definitely have a more looks, from just the image that I'm staring at now. I don't know. They probably have had, this is probably around their second EP anyways. But they definitely have a more fashion forward visual kei appeal going on here. Each member is definitely, in my opinion, dressed in a different type of aesthetic. But that's cool. I'm interested. I need to put them on my newbie list to see what their music sounds like. Like, my goal is, one of the things with this podcast is that I do have playlists attached to it. So what I like to do is add music from each of these groups, just to be like, hey, these are some songs that I particularly like that maybe others do. So I'm not entirely sure if Kumori Nochi is going to be on streaming, but they're a new group. They debuted in 2025, or they started in 2025. It's kind of hard to say. Like, I'm also a K-pop girly in this case, so it's kind of hard to debate with whether you should say they debuted or if it's like they started. So, but to be fair, we are getting to a point with visual kei where some of these are manufactured groups, and I don't mean manufactured in a bad way. I just mean that, like, different people from different backgrounds are put together and then they've created a visual Kei group. That has happened. It does happen. It is happening. And nothing wrong with that. We like some new people showing up. Also, not a new concept. Okay, we have Takeru. This is a solo artist. Cool. Yeah, so he's been in all kinds of different stuff. But he now has his solo project that's allowing him to do some V-Kei work here. And he's been active since 2022. Okay, now we have another group that probably many of us know. Damn. Oh, they are definitely giving visual Kei. And they're also giving loud Kei. At some point, you just start looking at these bands and then you start figuring out exactly what genre. But mind you, there are a lot of genres. Okay, so this is a group that has been active since 2022. From Tokyo, they are absolutely the loud Kei subgenre. And looking at the imagery that I'm staring at now with the pink background, that explains it. I love seeing. Let me guess. Is he the drummer? No, he's the guitar. This is something with the big hair that sometimes can be the drummer or the guitar, but that's fine. Guitarist. Wow. Okay, so we have a 5-piece band. Vocals is Hitone. Wow, it says he was a support before he became, I guess, the vocalist. That's kind of cool. So we have Hitone, we have the guitarist Cole, we have the guitarist Suika, we have a bass Sakura, and then we have drums Masaya. Oh, Sakura is looking adorable. I love the pigtails. All of them look like they're feeling themselves. Yeah, this just looks straight up heavy. They look like they're a very heavy group. I definitely have seen posts that they've put out on Instagram. They're definitely a heavy group. Cool. Again, 2022. Not been around for but so long, but they've been around long enough. All right, let's move on to the next one. CHAQLA. Okay, so they are Tokyo. Oh, there's a pronunciation. Chakura. That was my fault. I do know some Japanese. That was my fault. Chakura. That makes a lot of sense. There is no la and there is no Q. Okay, Gigi. We're going to get it together. Chakura. Okay, so they're a band from 2023. They are of the art Kei subgenre. They are a 4-piece group. We have vocals, guitar, bass, and drums. We have vocals Annie A. We have guitar Kai. We have bassist Takanosuke. And then we have drums who's Biki. They all have very different backgrounds. They're all from a lot of different bands from the past. And now this is where they currently are with a group that has debuted in 2022. Or 2023, sorry. They have been around from 2023. They have about 9 videos, but 42 songs. That's one thing about J-Rock and Visual Kei. These artists do be producing quite a bit of music, even if they haven't been around for very, very long. Let's do Tome Shoujo. That's who's next. Okay, looking princely. We love it. 3-piece band right here. They are... Yes. What I call Kira Kira Kei. Kira Kira Kei. To be fair, I get it. Kira Kira Kei is basically pop music, but it's not. It's still rock. They got their screaming. They have their moments. I do love a gnarly synth, though, but I digress. My bad. Okay, so this group has been active since 2022, and they are from Osaka. With their Kira Kira Kei, I'm definitely gonna listen to them. Yes, indeedy. Okay, so we have a 3-piece band. We have vocals now. Then we have guitar Kosuke. Then we have another guitarist, Sakura. Sakuha. That's that on that. They have about 28 songs, about 2 videos. Interesting. Let's go to the next one. Denao Himeka. Dino. That seems correct. Ooh. They are giving me those 2000s and cafe. Oh, yeah, I've definitely seen. I might be tripping, but I had definitely have seen them. They are 100% Kei. They are giving and cafe, which obviously is Oshadeke, but Kei is the offset of Oshadeke. There's a whole thing. I'm not even, but I will get in, but not right now. Street Denpa Rock is their concept. Let's make sure I'm pronouncing this right. Denno Himeka. Okay, so active since 2021. They are a Tokyo-based group. Adorable. They are absolutely adorable. This is the 2000s aesthetics that I love. The graffiti, the bright colors, the outfits that have so many different layer things happening with them. Let's see how much music we got. We got 31 videos. Now, hold on. I don't know if that's just... That can't be music videos. That has to be something else. And about 52 songs. That I can believe. Yeah, they look fun. So we have 5 members. We have vocalist Koshijiya Aoi. We have Naochi. We have guitarist Gaku. We have the bassist Dokuga Mino. And then we have the drummer Urara. Yeah, I'm kind of here for them. I'm here for that aesthetic. I needed to have been highlighting the ones that I really like, my Kei groups. But that's okay. It's fine. We'll come back. Because now that I have this list of like over 1,000 visual Kei artists, I definitely want to do some miniature dives of these groups, especially the ones that are new. Give them some space, some times. All right, Gucci. Let's move on to our next group, which is Dagon Minhera Kei. Looks about right. Definitely dark aesthetics. Already just from the image that I'm seeing, we're wearing all black. Again, Minhara Kei, that's one of them ones, especially if you are a native Japanese speaker, it's a little dark. If you are an English speaker and you're like, I want to look up the lyrics, just know that the content matter is going to be dark. So they are a Tokyo-based group that started in 2023. Minhera subgenre. They are 5-piece band. Looking at some of their history, it looks like... So we have Rui, who is the vocalist. Furitsu, who is the guitarist. We have a support guitarist named Alu. Then we have a bassist, Sayo. And then we have the drummer, Aito. Yeah, but their aesthetics, man. They're kind of going with that gothic-y sort of punk vibes, but all black aesthetic. We love it. We also love a little bit of some EGL in there too, don't we? We do. Okay. Next, we have a group called Death Gaze. Okay. Ooh, we do love minimalist visual Kei. Loud Kei, about right. Looks right. The reason why I say minimalist visual Kei, just meaning just they're not wearing like really big elaborate costumes. And all that good stuff. Ooh, this is a group that has been around. Interesting. Okay. I'll have to look into this group called Death Gaze, because right now it says that they are in pause status, but were active between 2003 and 2014. But definitely looks like they made a little bit of some comebacks, had some performances in Nagoya. one of my favorite places. It has a special place in my heart. Listen to my first episode of the podcast for you to understand why it has a special place in my heart. But that being said, they are from the Nagoya area. Okay, so they've been a band between 2003. So it looks like they did a hiatus in 2014, but then basically came back in 2013 with a couple of shows in 2025 for a show, and then now they are doing in 2026 the Masked Festival. So we have who's the vocalist. We have the guitarist Takaki. We have the bassist Kosuke, and we have drummer Naoki. It actually makes a lot of sense for their aesthetic to be the way that it is from seeing what their most current image is, where it's a little bit more of a chill side. It's less loud and outlandish and stuff like that. So it makes sense. They've been around the block a little bit. So all right, next we're gonna do Nocturnal Bloodlust. We're getting down close to the end. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 groups to go. This is definitely loud, okay? They straight up just looks like a metal group, and I love that for them. Going down to their history, it's a little, not overly long, but a little bit long. I like that. That's interesting to put, but it also kind of makes sense. They're a band that's been active since 2009. In this bio, it says active but formerly a V-Kei band. But they are part of the loud K subgenre. They have been active since 2009. Aesthetic wise, definitely say that they may not be as visual K as they used to be. They definitely at one point were hella V-Kei. I saw an image, but now they look like I love looking at them because they just look like a post-hardcore band. It's great. It's beautiful. I'm not even. Definitely have heard of them before. Haven't gone out my way to listen to too much of them. But that being said, as a group that has been around since, what did I say? 2009, they got history. They can change. They're allowed to do new stuff. So they are a 5-piece band. You have the good vocalist Hiro, guitarist Volts. You got another guitarist Yutaro. You've got the bassist Masa. And then you have drummer Natsu. And that's that on that, and that makes sense. Love that drummer Natsu has just been in Nocturnal Bloodlust this whole entire time. Most of the history looks like these have been people that have been in Nocturnal Bloodlust for a while, but some of them had some steeper backgrounds. All right, we got Buglug. Something about that name. I love saying it, Buglug. And just to be clear again, I do want to emphasize the fact that I have been using V-Kei.gy this whole entire time. Kira ke oshare ke. I thought this was the case. Okay, we'll come back. Let's look at their history. A little bit of a long history. Bugrug. 2009 is when they started to become active. They are a Tokyo-based group. 5 members in this band. We have the vocalist Ise. We have the guitarist Kazuki, another guitarist Yu, bassist Tsubame, and we have drummer Yusuke. I love that for us. They look fun. They look, again, back to that aesthetic that I love. I can always, the moment I see an image, I'm just like, oh yeah, you are Kira Ke. And that's fine. And I love it and I love you for that. Okay, so that is Buglug. Okay, next is Viva Rush. I do think we're going back to the 2000s. Yup. And here we are with that digital sound. We have the Kira Ke and Oshare Ke. Another group. Let's see about their history and when did they begin? They began in 2016. Okay, we have Ruimaru, who is the vocalist. We have the guitarist Yuki Muda. We have the bassist Toya. And then we have the drummer Tami. Aesthetics, again, it's just bright, idly. It's the 2000s, the 2010s. It's just hitting it right there. Like, you could not. You wouldn't miss them. Bright, vibrant colors. I love it. I just love the aesthetic. Okay, next group. Mama. Hey, mama. All right. Ooh, okay. The aesthetic, definitely dark. Minharake. That is a subgenre of this group, which is mama. All right, let's talk about when this group became a thing. Okay, so the activity of this group looks like 2018 to 2022, they took a little bit of a brief hiatus to, I guess, figure some things out, and then came back in 2022. It says their concept has become visual hybrid music, so I'll have to look at some of their music videos to see what that means in the 2023 era for them. But they are a Tokyo-based band, basically active since 2018. All right, so we have vocalist Me, we have guitarist Jimmy, we have another guitarist Kagome, and then we have bassist Mana. And then they have a couple of support drummers here and there, but one of them is a group that we've talked about before, which is Chakuda. So V-Kei was one of their support members, but for drumming. But they've definitely had some others. Mook, let's go. That's another group that I definitely have heard of. Mishitsuke. Let's look at what that genre means. But also, I think I know what that genre is, just didn't know what the name was. Describe brands who break the certain norms of visual kei and may be seen as bizarre, anti-establishment, and or camp, and may associate more with each other than with wider visual kei. They are especially associated with the 1999 to 2003 era, characterized by shadowed photo shoots in city streets and seem plucked from bygone eras. Okay. They have been active since 1997. The Tokyo area. But again, 1997, they're probably leaders within this subgenre. Like I said, I've heard of them. I haven't listened to their music all that much, but I've definitely heard of them. This is obviously a band with a lot of history. But their vocals is Tatsudo, guitarist Mia, bassist Yuke, and they've had a couple of support drummers. Most of them, yeah. Looks like they've definitely taken some breaks, done some solo projects, of course. I mean, when you're in a band from 1997, you can take some breaks. But yeah, that is definitely a quick dive. Like I'm sure there's so much more that I can put in about them. Let's go up to the next one, Yamitera. They are Kira Kira Kei and Wafu Kei. Love that. Hold on, let's talk about. Ooh, okay, cool. They're a band from 2016. Again, like I said, they are Kira Kira Kei and Wafu Kei. Looking at that, I can see that with their aesthetics. I'm definitely curious about their Wafu Kei. I'm seeing some other images within this. They are a 5-piece band. They have their vocalist is Rina. Their guitarist is Shuka. Another guitarist is Ranju. Then we have bassist Minato. And then I don't know how to pronounce the drummer's name. Let's see if there's I doubt it. Honestly, I'm sure the drummer is my favorite character, favorite person, to be honest. Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna. I don't know what that is. I find that so funny. So I'm not sure what their name is. Maybe it's J Woo Squared. That's cute. Anywho, that was something. Okay, let's look up the next band, which is Razor. Okay, yeah. Let me guess. Oh, just Loud K as their tag. Interesting. Ooh, there's foreign members in this. Okay, so this band has been active since 2016, and they are Loud K. They're a 5-piece band with their vocalist Yudoka. Then you have guitarist Tsurugi. Then we have guitarist Koryu. Then we have their bassist Iza. And drummers Nikki. No, their aesthetics are not quite adorable. Adorable is kind of the wrong word to put here, but like I call all kinds of things adorable. I'm just gonna say they're adorable. Yeah, it looks like they've had some iterations of different styling choices. But I can definitely see Loud K from this. Okay, we're about to go with an OG. We've got Lynch, but as we know, they are Loud K. Like, definitely not even, there's no questions to that. Like, not even a little bit. They are a group that has been active since 2004. I think I did know this. They were active from 2004 to 2021. Looks like they took a little bit of a break, and then they're back at it since 2022. They are from the Nagoya area, and I think I knew this. I don't know why this is coming to me as a shock, but I'm pretty positive I knew this. We have our vocalist Hazuki, our guitarist Yusuke. We have our secondary guitarist Reo, bassist Akinori, and drummer Asano. Long history. We absolutely will be doing a deep dive on Lynch. There's so much. It's so much, but makes sense that they're under Loud K because they are absolutely Loud K. And then last but not least on this list is, so we're just gonna try our best. We're gonna say that they're Rosach Inc. But anyways, Loud K as their subgenre, and they began their activity in 2021. Ooh, they have some overseas work going on there, and we love that. It's an interesting group. I definitely would like to do a little bit of a deep dive. Also, oh, okay, hold on. They got me with that pronunciation. It gave me the katakana, which is ru sha Roru Shaha. I think it's Roru Shaha, and I think his name is Ichigo. And then I think it's okay. So guitarist and vocalist Sango. Then we have Hachigo, and then we have who's the bassist, and then we have Nigo, which is the drummer. Interesting concept. I definitely. Okay, cool. They were the Mysterious Rabbit team. Official website and new visuals are revealed. The lineup is also revealed, although vaguely, as they are only named 3, 7, and 2. The only members whose identity is fully known is number 1, which is Yuri. Okay, so they got a whole mysterious thing going on there. Definitely a group I would like to know more about, but they are from the 2021. Yeah, like I know because they're okay. So just to clarify, we've got 3 venues. We have Spotify OE, Spotify OS, and Do a Music Exchange. With it again, reminding you can stream it up until June 7th. You can pay for it, and you can get both days. Feel free to straight up stream this on their website. There is all kinds of information. You can now listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, and you can watch it on YouTube. If there are other groups that people are interested of me talking about, please let me know. But definitely feel free to listen to episode 1 and 2. 1 was about Roy's, and 2 was about Luna C. So with that, I'll see you next time. Bye.